Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2020 mid-month general reading. We're looking at the last half of August. This reading is for the Earth sign of Capricorn. Welcome everyone. I hope you're doing well, safe and healthy, and as emotionally grounded as is possible. It's been a crazy year. It doesn't look like it's going to stop being crazy anytime soon, so I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. For everything that you do, your likes, shares, subscribes, feedback, comments, donations, it is all welcome and all appreciated. Thank you so much. So this reading is for the Earth sign of Capricorn. That's Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising. If your Venus is in Capricorn, if you're cross-watching for a Capricorn, it's all relevant. But of course, general readings resonate a little differently for everybody. Everybody has their own story of what's going on in their life. So watch all of them to get, additional insight and perspective. If you find that the reading or some of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading or information, just click on the description link below, click on that little arrow. You will see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. I can usually respond within the same day or the first 24 hours. And in terms of scheduling personal readings, I do it in as timely a fashion as possible. I do readings full-time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with people's schedules and my own to get those readings set up as quickly as we can. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Capricorn, let's see what the second half of August holds for you. All right, Capricorn, we begin with the Nine of Wands, followed by the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Cups. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the last half of August is the Knight of Cups. Well, Capricorn, it looks like you may be struggling to get through to the end of something, or to be able to move on to the next level of something, or move on to the next step of maybe a long-term plan that you have. It looks like you're spending some time kind of reflecting, contemplating, looking at, the investment of time and effort and money and all of that you've been putting into something, wanting to continue growing it to do better, but maybe feeling a little stymied or stuck, and really working towards your ultimate goal. There is some indication here too for some of you about taking a look at your budget and your finances and reworking those in a way that will allow you to, in a way where you start making more practical and wiser financial choices, maybe revamping your savings plan or putting a savings plan into action if you don't have one, and maybe scaling back on unnecessary or unwise spending, because you don't want to stay stuck where you're at. You know what this feels like to me, Cancer? It looks like, and I know that in the not too distant past you made some major changes in your life, took a real risk, took a real chance to make some major changes in your life, because you have a long-term vision, a long-term goal, something that you want to accomplish, or like a place in your life. This is where I envision myself in 5 years or 10 years. And so to get from point A to that point, there's a lot of goals in between now and then, a lot of mileposts you have to reach and move on from, and that you've been doing that. It's kind of like you restarted you made a decision some time ago to restart your life, And there's certain steps that have to be accomplished, certain goals that have to be met, and then you go on to the next goal in order to reach that kind of ultimate vision and dream that you have. And it feels like you've worked hard to get to the place that you're at. And you may have thought here with the Nine of Wands, because the Nine of Wands can represent, that you have this ultimate goal. Tens represent a cycle end or cycle fulfillment where you complete something and you move on to either something different or the next phase of something. So here in the Nine of Wands, you're almost to a completion point, like completing a milestone, and then you can, start moving on to the next level of your plan. But for some reason, it feels like you're a little stuck in this place. Because the Nine of Wands represents, feeling like the end or the next step for you is in sight, but then feeling like something has happened. This group of wands behind this soldier who's already been through a lot of battles represents another obstacle, another challenge, another hurdle, just when he thought he was just about to the end of this particular phase and starting something new. So, he's withdrawn a bit from it. He's taken a knee, discouraged, depressed, maybe figuring out, how do I get through this? How do I get to the next step? How do I get to this completion point so I can move on? Should I give up? Am I fooling myself? Self-doubt, all of that kind of stuff. But what this soldier doesn't know is that he's very, very close to completing his cycle. It's just about getting through this last difficult bit. Because right after the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, which is a man who's bent over this heavy burden, but he's pretty much at the end of that cycle where he can then complete this part of it and move on. Because I get the feeling, Capricorn, that this is part of a long-term plan you have, And there's these steps, these goals that have to be met, on the road to getting there. It's kind of like if you want to be a doctor, you have to start out, you have to take all these classes, you have to do your internship. There's all these things that you have to go through and accomplish, on the way towards having what you want. And I feel like that's what this is for you. And it looks like you may have, because this feels like it's more about the physical security of your life. Job, work, finance, home, property, how stable and secure you are. I think that you began at a place where you weren't stable, and that there wasn't an end in sight. You weren't even on a path that was moving towards what you wanted. So you made the decision to make a break, kind of started your life over again. Successful, things are moving along, you're checking off the little goals one by one by one, and it feels like you've hit a bit of a roadblock here. And with the Seven of Pentacles, you're trying to think about, you're looking at, what you have invested and how to make your crop better. Because the Seven of Pentacles is about reflection, contemplation. You're taking a look at this crop. You put in a lot of work to grow this fruit, this, whatever the Pentacles represents. Pentacles is governed by the element of earth. So it's all about the physical structure of our life, or what makes us feel stable and solid and secure and safe, which is why it often points to financial or material things or long-term relationships that make us feel rooted. So here, we're not at a full, perfect crop. That would be a 10, long-term stability and security, but that's what your ultimate goal is to get to that 10 of Pentacles. Here we put quite a bit of work into it. We have a good crop. How do I get it to that 10 of Pentacles? Look at where you're putting your money, your time, your investments, and asking yourself, is it paying off? Am I making the right decisions? Am I investing in the right things? Am I spending my money wisely? Am I not spending my money wisely? I have this long-term goal, and I was moving right along, but now my concern is that I might be feeling a little stuck in the place that I'm at. And it might even be a literal place too. Maybe your long-term goal is to have, a good paying job, money in savings, owning a home instead of renting a home, but that requires work and building up and making decisions and being reliable and building up savings in the bank and all of that kind of stuff to get to that point. You're well on this road, but for some reason it may be that the next step you anticipated going to, either somehow it didn't work out, or you've made a decision that you can't go to the next step just yet. Maybe it's not a wise thing to do. I'm going to clarify. What is this Nine of Wands about? What are you feeling stymied by or wanting to wrap up so that you can move on to the next thing? What is this about? The Ace of Pentacles. This is a practical new beginning, a new job, moving, relocating. For some of you this could be maybe you're wanting to move. For some of you, I feel like there's a physical structure involved in this, where you wanting to move, preparing to move, getting ready to, and then here in the Nine of Wands, at the last minute, either something blocked it, or perhaps you took a look at what would be required and made the decision, even though you wanted to do it, maybe it just wasn't the wisest thing right now. Because you're thinking about it. You're thinking about how to get through this. Should I bust through this now? If this is going to cost X amount more money, should I commit to it or not commit to it? You know, it might not be moving or relocating. It might be a new job or investing in something new or starting over again. It could be that you're looking for a new job. It could be you're looking for a new job, or you're looking to move, relocate, get a new job. I mean, that's, you know, the Ace of Pentacles represents a new start in something that makes a difference in your practical day-to-day life. It could be a new project you wanted to begin. Again, a new job, or perhaps going back to work. And you've put a lot of work into it, and just when you thought it was within reach, for some reason it's not going through. And it looks like you're just kind of reevaluating that. Some of you, it might be that something actually came in externally to block it, and some of you may have realized that whether this is moving or a new job or starting some new project that you've had your eye on for some time, it may be that you've just made the decision, you know, I want it and I'm not giving it up, but right now maybe it's not the wisest thing to do. So there's all this kind of reflection and contemplation. Because the ultimate goal for you, Capricorn, is to get to that 10 of Pentacles. You're at a 7 here. We also have the 8 of Pentacles here, which is, you know, building up that wealth, building up that security, financial security, material security, job security, reliability. And that requires a lot of hard work, because this is the nose to the grindstone card, getting up early, staying up late, maybe pulling in overtime. But the reason why this person has 8 pentacles built up is because they've been smart. They've worked hard. They've saved as much that they've made as possible. Because if every time a pentacle came in you spent the pentacle, you wouldn't have these 8 pentacles. The reason why this person has 8 pentacles is because they've worked hard for it. They've maybe, you know, and maybe they wanted some things, but thought, well, it's not a good idea. I really need to save my money. So, you know, maybe making some sacrifices and denying themselves maybe, you know, some things that they wanted, impulses, in order to have that security. So it looks like you feel a bit blocked or stymied. And you're trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. Again, it feels like you're in the middle of a long-term plan and everything was ticking along, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. Or the next step either was made clear to you that it wasn't possible for whatever reason. Maybe it's an external reason coming in and blocking it that you have no control over at this time. Or you've just made the decision, yeah, I really want to move to that next step, but I just don't feel like it's the right thing yet. I need to build up some more security for myself, maybe save a little bit more money, get a little bit more money in the bank, you know, have a little bit more credit, a little bit more security, a little bit more job security, you know, before I move to this next step and take on more responsibility. And in order to get to that next step, I'm actually looking at how I run my life. Where do I spend my money? How reliable am I? And kind of taking a look at, you know what, maybe I can do better in building up a foundation for myself, because I'm not giving up on my dream, but I think I need to be a little more practical and have a little bit more of a foundation underneath me before I move to the next step of my plan. The interesting thing here is too, and that's why I talked about maybe some of you will be or need to be thinking about revamping your budget, is because this Eight of Pentacles is followed by the Three of Pentacles, which is kind of the party card, going out, having a good time, celebrating, drinking. Um, this combination of cards can mean a variety of different things. Some of you may be at the end of the month going back to work, getting that new job, even if you thought it was like maybe not possible. So it could be celebration over that, celebration over how hard you've worked to get to where you're at, and fair enough, nothing wrong with that. But the thing that hit me right from the beginning is the energy of these two cards are very different. This is kind of the go out, spend money and drink and have a good time kind of card, celebrate, being with friends. The Eight of Pentacles is a completely opposite energy. This is nose to the grindstone. I'm not going to go out and spend money because I'm saving for something. And while there's nothing wrong with my going out and spending money in this way, drinking, whatever it is, I have to ask myself, is it worth it? Is the $20, $40, $50 I'm going to be spending on this thing tonight? That means it's less money I have towards this long-term goal. So maybe I should, sacrifice this or deny myself this. It's the difference between what I want right now, what your impulses are driving you towards getting, versus what I want long term. If you keep giving into the what I want right now impulse, you're never going to get to that Ten of Pentacles because you can't build up what you need to get there. So it's kind of about taking a look at that, Capricorn, and kind of taking a look at the security in your life where you are, and celebrate how far you've come, but also take a practical look at where you are, which is still not where you want to be, and what do you have to do to get to where you want to be. It looks like this next phase is about restructuring how you make decisions in your life around financial and material aspects. More practical decisions. And that's going to mean, working hard and saving more, which means you have to say no to the impulses of things that you want now so that you can put those resources aside and build up towards that long-term goal that you have. Kind of like if you're renting and you want to own, building up some savings, building up your credit, job history and reliability. All of those things take work and time. There's no shortcut to them, and there's no substitute for them. So it's kind of about doing that. And it looks like you have some help to do that. I mean, the overall energy is the Knight of Cups, who comes rushing in to offer their help, their support, their encouragement. Let's clarify that. The other thing I want to say too, Capricorn, is that for many of you, this is your energy. For some of you, it might be your partner's energy or someone close to you as well. Because I don't feel like you're alone in this. The Chariot, success through determination, fortitude, and perseverance. So you have at least emotional and encouraging support from the people around you to kind of keep you focused, kind of help you not get so discouraged. And yes, you can do it. Don't give up. Keep going. Maybe you're in one of those hard spots right now. The road, to go from A to Z, some parts of the road may be nice and smooth, and some parts might have, potholes and things like that. It feels like maybe you've lost a bit of your moxie. You're normally a very capable, practical, resourceful person, and I don't think that you've lost that, but it feels like maybe you look at this not being able to get to the next step right now as, am I doing something wrong? Am I, is this as far as I'm going to get? Am I ever going to get to where I want to be? And it looks like you have help and support and encouragement around you. And that you might be providing someone close to you as well, to not give up. That everybody goes through these time periods of self-doubt and anxiety, and do I have what it takes to get there? because it looks like you're just going through, you may have temporarily lost that sort of determination. You may just be going through a lag period. So let's pull one final advice and guidance card here for you on what to focus on that's going to be helpful for you, Capricorn, for the last half of August. The Nine of Pentacles. You have the 7, the 8, and the Nine of Pentacles. I like the progression. The Nine of Pentacles, you're almost there. You're almost at that 10 of Pentacles. You're close. You've worked hard. You have built up a good, solid, stable foundation for yourself. You're enjoying that. You've got money in the bank. You denied yourself quite a bit in order to have that foundation you have now, because you saved as many of those pentacles as possible, which is what you have now and you're enjoying. Again, if you spent every one of those pentacles as soon as they came in, you wouldn't be at this place of stability and security where you now feel safe in this area of your life. So it's about focusing on your long-term security and stability, which I think that you have done. But we all get tired, we all get discouraged, we all suffer setbacks, we all make maybe unwise decisions, but it's about kind of catching that before it turns into a habit or a pattern, and looking at that and kind of restructuring things. And that's what it looks like the last half of August is for you, Capricorn. So Capricorn, that is your reading for the last 2 weeks of August. I hope you found it helpful. It was more of a practical reading this time. Again, if you'd like to reach out for a personal reading or take a deeper look at something, click on the link below. You'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the September general readings. Until then, stay safe and well. I wish you many blessings, and I hope to see you back here again. Bye-bye.